Great.
Dun, 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 dun.
Today, I'd like to explore.
Rod Sterling, The Twilight Zone, Alton's son,
That's me.
the Daylight Zone.
I'd like to explore what it's like when you don't have to plan anymore. What do you do? Or how do you be with that?
What the, what the? You actually think that somebody can live in today's society, interacting with other people and not plan anything? Seriously?
Yeah. We see all like my story is like people like Adyashanti could have just not planned and they just have a whole cadre of people around them that like handles everything.
So, okay, wait a minute. So you're saying that they don't plan, but somebody else is doing the planning for them.
Sure. And I have it
So,
that that could be some representative of like some internal mind state or some sub part of me, but
oh
the
God.
global self, the self that experiences itself as a self, doesn't necessarily have
So,
to.
so Alton, would
Mhm.
you be willing to do a little thought experiment with me?
Sure.
If you're sitting on your bed in the morning and you have a sock in your hand and you put the sock over your toes, if you don't have an idea about what comes next, a plan, what's going to happen?
I imagine muscle memory will just,
Muscles don't have memory. There's nothing in your muscles that is a place where memories can lie.
sure. I
Physiologically,
mean,
there's
the
nothing there.
colloquial definition of muscle memory is that
Oh,
like learning how to ride a bicycle and it'll kick back in.
fine. Okay. And to what benefit would this be? Why would you want to have this happen?
I bet that a lot of people would enjoy living in more planless states where they can relax into their being and their being happens to like contribute so much value to everyone around them
Oh,
that other
God.
people are called into action and wanting to plan and organize everything around them with their ways of being. And some people are who are super planners, it doesn't even occur to them that they're planning. They're just moving through the
Okay.
world.
Okay. Fine. Yeah. I mean, if I can listen to somebody doing, engaging with, I'm going to go do some furry sex play. I guess I can engage with this. Fine. Okay, you have a wonderful proposition. Do you have any questions for me about it or? Hi, Colin.
I do, and I'll
Hey
sprinkle them
there.
throughout, but I wanted to have some more time with Colin too and support him as well in learning how we can work together, running retreats, running events we used to do years ago when we were in California and when I was here. And now here we are. And we've had a couple retreats in the past 2, 3 weeks.
Yep. And you ran out of sacrificial virgins, or you ran out of squirrels?
Well, I wanted to take some time to really nourish our core team here. And so I think yesterday night was the first night we didn't have guests or weren't going out to other people's places in like 3 weeks. So
Yeah.
that was really great and really connected for all of us. And I would like to have, I'd like to build a broader team, and I would like to include Colin as well. And there's a way that, Craig, you have oriented yourself such that other people in your life choose to step up and step into things like handling your website, handling all
No,
budgets,
that's old. That's old.
finance.
That's old. Nothing's changed in 6 years.
Yeah, someone maintains that. Someone like pays for
Yeah,
the.
because I pay for them.
Oh, okay. Well, someone set it up and you continue to pay for them and you choose to pay for them because it brings you some coin that you can't otherwise get. And it doesn't cost you like a lot of recurring cognitive load. But there are people who regularly want to run immersions with you all around the world and are willing to make your life easy and like will fly you around and will take care of things for you.
Evidence to the contrary, I haven't done an immersion in over a year.
You have been, did you not get flown out to
To where?
Sean King's Cantina?
No, I went and I spent a week in Vieques.
Yeah, but
It wasn't
did
an
you-
immersion. No,
okay, sure, but were you not flown out to
no.
Sean's less than a year ago when you were in
Oh,
Puerto Rico?
yes, yes. Sure. Right. What do you want? Tell me what you want, please, before I have a stroke. You're telling me
Well,
all these stories. Just tell me what you want from me.
I want Colin and myself and everybody that I touch to have the optionality to relax into our very essence of being. And just our being is so juicy, such that other people will choose to fly us around the world and pay us boatloads of money to
Yeah, but it's
be
not going to
beings with.
work that way. It's like theoretically, you could have such a juicy way of being that people would want to be around you and experience the golden glow of your stuff. But there's a lot of steps in there.
That's right. And
There's
I'm
a
willing
lot
to,
of
and I'm interested
steps.
in investigating them at the very least. Whether or not I'm actually want to do every single one of the lifts, I don't know. Everyone wants to be a bodybuilder, like Max was saying last time, and who actually wants to go to the gym, I don't know. But I still want to be present to what the territory looks like and
What
what
do
that
you
might
have to
take.
sell?
By default, it's this X.
No, 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 no. There's got to be something that for the first third of the program, you're going to practice selling. This is the
Mhm.
coin that you think you have that other people are going to want.
Yeah,
So
it
whether
seems
it's
like that's
doing,
already happening. It occurs to me that
okay,
a lot of people are suffering a lot more than they could or going through a lot more pain than they need to. They notice that when they speak with me, they suddenly a week afterwards don't experience a ton of pains that they used to their entire life. And they want to learn how to expose themselves to me more similar ways and that they're willing to pay for that. And that's how it's
okay,
happening.
if you want to set yourself up as the guru, then just continue doing what you're doing. They will come to you for your wisdom or la 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 la, and
Mhm.
you can milk the tit of that forever, or until you have sex with one of their small chihuahuas or something. Right? That's fine. If that's if because in your presence
Mhm.
somehow the golden rays of Alton intermingle with the black tarry reality of them and they suddenly have a better life, then fine, continue what you're doing. It sounds like a good plan. You
Yeah.
know,
I mean,
if,
it doesn't even occur as a plan from an inside view. That I
no,
would like to like noodle on it in these moments. So I'm basically investing in long-term future versions of me across all time that then no longer have to think about it because I've just allowed myself to relax into that new way of being.
fine, you're doing it. I don't understand what you're talking. Ah.
I don't have it that the current probable almost certain future is one where Colin and I both are able to walk into any room and have a significant portion of the people be willing to become very resourceful in finding ways that they could
Right. So now you have to
use
identify
Colin.
what is the coin.
Yeah.
What is the coin that you're offering such that they're willing to move the mountain for you to get to wherever it is they want you to get to? That's what you have to identify. I'm a coach. La 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 la. All
Yeah.
right.
Colin also specifically told me he wants to like pick up all the different coaching modalities and learn from all of
All
the
of
different
them.
practices. The ones that have made a big difference for me specifically, and that is
Good.
something that I'm also listening for on this call.
Right.
Um, I am also
So
noticing that I'm
wait a
like
minute,
kind of people
wait.
pleased because he's chewing. So yep.
I don't care if he's chewing for God's sakes. I don't care if he's farting. All right. So Colin has identified something that makes sense for him. It's not that he's going to go off and study Tibetan meditation techniques or whatever. He's looked in and said, "Oh, coaching. That's his vehicle." Okay, everybody's got a vehicle of some kind. So Colin has identified that, and so what he's going to do is he's going to go out there and he's going to apply himself and he's going to learn the science of coaching and this paradigm and that paradigm, and he'll pick and choose and make something up of his own, and then he'll start offering that to people. He'll say, "I can do this skill set." And they'll say why, and he'll point to somebody who's having an amazing life and said they were a trash picker before they met me. Well, whatever. So he's going to have proof of some kind or evidence. And as he gets better and better at this, he's going to turn into a master level thing to where he doesn't have to think about what actually the other tennis player is doing. He's just going to be out there doing Colin. People are going to think he's coaching, but he's just going to be doing Colin. And people are going to be amazed, and they're going to ask him, how does he know what to do, whatever. He's either going to go, well, this is the paradigm, or he's going to go, I have no fucking idea. Just how I dance. So he has an identified vehicle. What's your vehicle, Alton?
I don't understand what identified vehicle means in the context that you just generated it.
You're going to be interacting with muggles. They need for you to show up in a way that they understand in some format.
Yeah.
Such that they can listen to you. There's a reason to listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
We don't live in a culture where your auric goldenness makes sense to anybody.
I think some people get flickers of it and then they want more, and they
Fine.
are willing to travel great distances to make it work here and spend significant chunks of time here. I want to know how I can have that with Colin and with everybody that ever steps foot in this house, that they leave transformed and having a much deeper access to this auric capacity that then has ripple effects for everyone that they will ever get to meet too.
I don't know. That's something you're going to have to figure out.
But yes, I understand. I'm looking for like trailheads or guideposts based on what you know about.
Pick a vehicle.
The vehicle is that people come here for weekend retreats.
Fine. Then they meet you in something. How are you going to explain the effect that you have on them? They're going to say, well, why am I affected by you the way that you are?
Yeah.
And if you say it's because of my...
I would say is like a deliberately practicable skill of relational fluency, or we'll deliberately practice training triggerlessness as a frame by increasing the stimuli of the thing that's always gets to them in connection with their romantic partner or historical romantic partners.
There you go. You got a place to start.
Okay. I'm interested in what Colin thinks about all this so far, and like, Colin, what your personal desires are in connection with all this. And basically, yeah, to be a clearing for you to have some time with Cray as well to get some direct one-on-one coaching. I'd also like, Cray, from you to learn how I can encourage Colin to like step up more and like into his power and like take the space. Similar.
Be the carrot.
I have
Be
it
the thing
when
that
Colin
happens.
is presented with opportunities like this. Well, I am by invoking the ache or desire and naming.
Is he doing what you want him to do right now?
I mean, apparently he's allowing me to feel irritated, frustrated.
That's a yes lack of initiative or no question.
So yes.
Is he doing what you want him to be doing?
I think I'm going to always answer yes to whatever's happening almost.
Well, then you're a success. Congratulations. He's doing. Why do you have a question if he's doing what you want him to be doing?
The dynamic tension of human experience is, I mean, it's going to be, I'm going to endorse basically whatever Colin's doing or saying.
No. Okay, then I don't have to do it. I don't understand, Alton. If he's totally fine the way you're doing, why is he here?
Oh, because of the rate at which we learn this and integrate this throughout our lives.
Fine. Is he learning it at the rate? What are the measurements? What are the things that you want him to be doing better, faster, cleaner, shorter, whatever it is? You have to, if you're going to work with people, you have to be able to say, step faster, pound faster.
Great. Colin, I want you to take more initiative. I want you to ask questions.
No, you can't measure that. Okay.
I want you to ask questions of Cray. That's measurable.
Right. Okay. Now, don't say anything, Colin. You've asked him that. Is he doing it?
I didn't ask him. I just told that's a stated preference.
Okay. So now,
I want him to self-generate that and for it to like bloom from within.
Did you read my post today about the tango dancers?
No.
No. Okay. There are two people never seen each other. They're both good at tangoing. If they come together as adolescents, it's all about them, about how they're showing up, or how they're making the other person show up.
Yeah.
Okay. For the quote adult tango dancers, they come in and they dance, and it's how they're moving with each other, and that in the moment they're like, look at what we're doing. So right now, if you're in a dance with Colin, and you're trying to move him in such a way such that he's asking more questions.
Mhm.
The idiotic thing to do is say, Colin, ask more questions.
Mhm.
Because that's him following an external authority figure.
Right.
So you're trying to show up in such a way that he's like, holy shit. Because that's you getting to know him and how to turn him on and to have him move in the direction
Yes.
that you want without you puppeting him.
I get it. It's like teach men to yearn for the wide open seas rather than tell them how to
Okay,
build boats.
fine. Then do it.
I have it that he is lit up about it, and it's just like a totally different language. And I'm like, okay, so
Now you're describing something about you. Do you think what you just did is going to have him ask a question? Doesn't look like it, so don't do that again. Do something else.
you did just tell him not to ask the question. So okay.
Well, good. Now you have something really hard to work with.
Okay, I'm ready.
So in your mind, Alton, in your projections, in your racist bigotry, what do you think Colin would actually have questions about to me? This is just total projection. You haven't, just give me something.
How do I grieve what future may not happen with my partner? And how do I set myself up for success with working with Alton?
Okay, how do I set myself up as a success with Alton? Now, okay, that's where you want him to ask a question for. So how do you get him in that space? Right now, he's thinking about that big chunk of apple that's in his tooth and how he's going to get rid of it without having to blank the screen or something. Okay? How are you going to get him over to that place where his future success with you is questionable enough to where he's asking a question of me?
How do we get him in a place where it's questionable?
Yeah.
Name that I'm here because I want to work with him, and I had concerns that it won't be existing in our probable, almost certain future.
Do something such that he moves over to that space.
Colin, I want to work with you more, and I
No.
don't know how. Okay.
Try something like, I'm worried about whether I'm going to make this work or not, Colin. So if he steps, then he's gone from where he is to making a success of this vis-a-vis Alton. So if he does something that indicates that that's something that's got him, that he's picked up his ears at, then you take it another little step further.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. It's the same thing as courting, a lady. Your goal is to get her, doing horribly nasty things with you in the bedroom. And you're very certain that if you come out and say, hi there, Sally, I'd really like for you to end up in my bedroom tonight doing blah, 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 blah. You're pretty certain that that's not going to work. Why do you think it works with Colin?
Because Colin's a man, and
No,
we
it's not going to
relate
work with
on
guys.
challenges and being super explicit about things that are like, hey man, I just want this mechanical specific thing to work together. And
Okay. you are going to get much better results out of Colin than if you can get his, not just his decision-making capabilities, not just his analytical abilities, but if you can get his belly in the game with you,
Yeah.
it's going to work a lot better.
I
And
think
you
his belly
asking
is
him,
voracious for this time too. And I see him show up here and contribute a ton.
I think Sally is really secretly, Sally is right there. I really think Sally is horny and she's really crazy in bed and does all sorts of really weird, kinky shit. And I'm hoping that if she's on the call with you, Cray, she'll be able to put down all of those external, internalized external authority figures and just fuck my brains out. If she's sitting right there, guess what your chances are going to be?
Depends how much autism they have. Okay. All right. I think I'm getting more of what you're pointing to.
Evoking, not directing.
Oh boy.
Evoking. Getting them in the mood.
Getting them in the mood.
Alton, do you think you're going to have more fun with Sally if you tell her that you want to have it, or if she tells you that she wants to have it?
That was the most compelling statement I've heard.
You're not Elon Musk. You're not running around pointing at things at people and waving huge wads of cash at them.
I mean, I feel like I'm doing that too.
Ugh.
Okay. I heard the last thing you shared most saliently. Instead of me telling them telling me.
Stop. Shut up. If you understand, you don't have to repeat it to prove that you understand it.
It's deepening it for me.
Ugh. Try tattooing it. Well, that really worked well.
I tattooed up my digital notes. That'll definitely okay.
Anything, Colin?
Yeah. That's all hilarious. I appreciate it very much. I mean, I would have it that I am in the mood and have been. I have a story that Alton's kind of impatient. Um, and like I don't know exactly what you're hoping for me to do, but I'm like actively enrolled in like Joe Hudson's work, like taking classes every day.
Colin,
Yeah.
I'm here.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm here for 1 hour and 37 minutes, hopefully.
Yeah.
I am an arrogant, know-it-all, philosophical, whatever I am. Okay. So you
Yeah.
have me for 1 hour and 37 minutes at best.
Mhm.
Now, you can either look at that guy and say, I don't need any questions about quantum physics asked. That's just like, fuck that shit. Or you can say, let me take a chance. Let me take a chance. Cray is, whatever. I don't care whatever story you need to tell yourself so that you can actually, there's a piece of gym equipment here.
Yeah.
You can look at it all day long and try to see who manufactured it and where it came from and who used it before and what kind of results they got, or you can use it.
Mhm.
Right.
What do you think the best exercise is to do with this particular piece of gym equipment that you are?
How woo are you?
Huh?
How woo are you?
Oh,
Do you know the Akashic records?
I'd have to familiarize myself, but yeah,
Okay.
I'm aware of them.
Pretend that I have access to them.
Okay. Um, um, I was looking into what you had asked me last time to look into, which was the animal. It was Mike something, but
Yep.
Cabogen.
Yep.
I couldn't find him. I found Mike something else that has a thing called Animal Flow, which is based out of Colorado, but
No,
I not.
no, no,
Nope.
no, no,
Okay.
no, no, no.
Can you spell that other guy's name for me one more time?
I'll message you guys.
Okay.
What?
I'll message them both.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, you know him. Okay, awesome.
Yes.
He came to Skyway
Okay, cool.
for a week.
Oh,
It was one
sweet.
of the best weeks of Skyway's history.
Awesome.
He's been away for a week. So.
Beautiful. Okay, but yeah, anything else that I should look into? Like along those lines?
I I don't know how well versed you are. I mean,
Mhm.
that you show up and you look very polite and you look like, you know, you look very well mannered and not threatening and la 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 la. Then after a bit, you start breaking out into these big toothy grins and you look a lot more dangerous and and that stuff. So I'm like, oh, you've learned to put away the animal side of you. And I think that most of the people that Alton is associated with really need some introduction to the animal side of their humanness. I don't know if that's something you'd enjoy doing. That's why I suggested go talking to Mike about Primal. Because he's in Boulder. People in Boulder have the same problem.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, I think that would be a great value add. It's definitely a comparative advantage that I have in that group of people in general is like combat training and yeah, it's like a physicality. I'm wondering if that's like the best application. Yeah,
I don't
if that
know.
really
What do
is
you
like
think?
comparative advantage. I don't really know. I mean, I always have
What are
leaned
you good at?
towards more. Um, Qigong, uh, wrestling.
Yeah,
Um,
wrestling's Primal. Good. That's
yeah.
in the line. Getting people in their bodies.
Yeah, boxing.
Yep. Same
Um,
thing. You know how to box, like the
calisthenics.
science of it?
Um, I mean, I'm not. I mean, I love doing it. I'm not like super mechanical. I can
Yeah.
get by a lot on just physical prowess.
Right.
But wrestling, like, I don't know. I spent like 13 years versus the like 4 that I spent training striker.
Yeah, I think that I mean from here, I think that that's your first step in. There's all kinds
Really?
of level of nuances. There's all kinds of, there's all kinds of, whether you want to go with energy work, whether you want to go on with straight physicality. But if you look at Alton as an example, the man has no animal. There's no carnivore present.
Does there need to be?
Does there, theoretically, no. But if you're trying to build human beings who are more embodied, yes. If you're trying to build a bunch of monks that are going to sit up and and do chakras and whirling prayer wheels all day long, no, you don't. But if you're looking, you want to. One of the things I think that you're faced with is that you're faced with a lot of different little tiny monocultures all coming together. So if you can get them at least on the same page about what the physical animalness is about being a human being, that it's okay to be a carnivore, it's okay to be a vegetarian, it's okay to have power up, it's okay to have power down, it's okay to be a top, it's okay to be a bottom. If you're going to make all the physicality things about what it is to be a human okay, and you can provide people with ways to dip their toes into it and then get better at it, you're going to have a full schedule. But because they're like Alton, you're going to need to have this out in some sort of written down, flow charts and bullet points and things that they can look at and read and say, okay, before I get into the mud and try to rip your ears off, this looks scientifically feasible, something like that.
Okay.
I don't know how would you, if you were in charge of Alton's journey into his somatic experience as a human being, how would you set that up? You have 3 months. At the end of 3 months, you want him at probably 7.5 on a scale of 1 to 10. You want him to be able to be at home with like 7.5 of what it is to be a physical human being. You might have to engage his mind or his heart or his belly or his gonads or whatever, but you want him to have the not being a cubicle monster, not being one of these floating heads. If his girlfriend is screaming at him, he should be able to pop her a good one right in the middle of her forehead.
What does that mean, Gray?
It means exactly what it says. You need to be able to be willing to be physical with people. If your feminine partner knows that you have a part of you that's restricted, that's off base, when things get tight for her, and she doesn't want to go into that place, she's going to do something to have you say, "Oh, you're making me crazy, stop it." And she'll say, "Oh, all right, I'll stop doing it." And she won't have to go to that place.
Wow. I think that's a beautiful, I've definitely seen that happen multiple times today.
Yes.
Or in the past. Not specifically with
all of your feminines, to keep themselves out of the scary places, they're going to make you tell them to stop. And they know exactly how to do that. They know exactly what you're fearful of.
Yeah, that sounds like a healthy pruning mechanism to get weekends out of your life.
Yeah. And if Sophia's raging at you and you say, "Ow, sit the fuck down. Stop acting like a goddamn child." "No, you hit me." "Yes, I did." Yeah, so what?
It's definitely a very gray area.
Well, then fine. When you know that she's up, carry around a nice big old thermos full of ice water. And if you want to be really safe, crush the ice cubes, okay? And when she starts ranting and raving, don't hit her in the forehead, just throw the water on her. You said you wanted help when you were in reaction. I thought that would be the quickest way for you to get out of the reaction. And
Okay,
since
so
you're actually talking to me,
we can carry like spritzer bottles like we do with cats then.
you can. You can.
But this is great. The whole cultural house norm could be just little spritzer bottles when people are in reaction. It'll be hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, Colin says, "Yeah, in my house there'd be blood."
Wow, blood-filled spritzer bottles. That's something I had not considered.
Oh boy, God! You see what I mean, Colin? He thinks the blood I was referring to is in the spritzer bottle, rather than the blood running down your face. Different realities. It's like if you were playing basketball, Alton, and somebody hip checked you. You have to be able to hip check back.
Yes, I get that. Otherwise, it's just a weak pattern.
Yep.
In the same way that you said you don't trust people that you don't believe could also kill you, which makes sense because then they're just
idiots.
I mean, they're crippled along a certain dimension, which you could see as them trying to take advantage of you to be using you cheaply because you're willing to go where they cannot go.
Whatever. Yes. Next. What do we got?
So you think physicality is a more beneficial direction than, say, like the route of other forms of inspiration, or like coaching?
It depends what kind of coaching you're doing. If you're doing the sort of traditional coaching, they're all going to learn to masturbate better in some form or another. It's fine if that's, people pay big money for that. People pay really big money for that if that's what you want your thing to be. I think that if you guys want to be the shakers and movers that you claim to be, that you're going to have to be at least two standard deviations away from the norm in whatever you're doing. You could do cuddle parties and have people over the course of 2 years learn how to cuddle more effectively. Or you could do tea group or even circling. Oh boy.
Okay, what I'm hearing is be in the mood to know how to embrace your physicality by being willing to physically assault each other. And then you have a true team rather than a weak one.
See? See? Colin, do you get what I'm talking about? That's where he goes. He thinks that's valuable.
As opposed to something to take for granted.
No, it's instead of doing something with it, you're talking about it again. It's like, so if I hold the ball like this and I step and I'm on the pitcher's mound and I throw it like this and I do this, that'll be a curveball. I'm just like, will you please get on the mound and throw the fucking ball?
Mhm.
There's a time for talking and there's a time for dancing.
Yeah, I'm one step at a time. I get
No,
the
stop it. Ugh. Hmm. There's two things, Colin. You have to find something that fires up the pirate in you. Okay. And hopefully that thing you can somehow translate it so it fires up your clients. If you think taking everybody on small arms, if you really love to play with the guns, then take everybody on the small arms familiarization round. Have them go kill rabbits or something. I don't know. If you can't stand guns, don't do that. If you enjoy wrestling, then fine. Yeah. Nude muskrat, nude, Crisco parties. Yay! Ah. What is going to light people up around you that kind of lights you up in the same, and not in the same, but lights you up also? That way you wake up wanting to go to work.
Thank you.
You're welcome. One thumbs up from Forrest. Yay.
No, I feel delighted that Forrest is still here after his response when he was here with you live.
Uh,
Oh, people are watching this.
I don't know who's watching. I was bored, so I went over and checked the stream. So
Facebook tells me hundreds.
Really?
I don't know what that means.
we all know.
It used to be 1,200-ish. Now it's like 400 to 700, I think.
Hmm.
I don't know what constitutes a watches, but I think it's something short.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say the thing that I'm sharing is radical transparency and deeper connection. And those are measurable through the quality of people's relationship lives and the number of arguments and experiences they get that they would not consider value positive.
Now, when I hear radical transparency, I just go, check out. Radical transparency. Okay.
Yeah, I feel grateful that you're not my target demographic.
Thank God.
You describe your frame of what you want is to be blooming people. Is that close? To dance with others and evoke.
One of the flavors that I enjoy is when people bloom.
One of the flavors that you enjoy is when people bloom.
Yes, I also like Szechuan, but I don't eat Szechuan every day, nor do I try to find it every day. I'm in a place that's a little bit different than the place you're in, Alton. There's not a lot of what is it that's going to make me happy or whatever value positive it is. It's like what needs to be done. And so you and I orient to making decisions differently.
I mean, what needs to be done is largely a function of what I value or what I want, what conditional or conditioned.
That's the way you look at it. Yes, I agree with you. I don't look at it that way.
How do you see it differently? To me, it's just some denial or delusional belief otherwise.
And there's nothing you can do about that. You are trapped within you are trapped at the level that you're trapped in. And I'm telling you
that's
that
what this side would say the same about your side.
Yes, and that's fine. And all I can do is I can tell you that from this side, there's a place where there are things that need to be done that have nothing to do with whether you like them or not.
I agree. I heard you share many times. That's why you choose to continue to show up on these.
Yes.
And there's a set of things that through that lens seem like you're just binding yourself to some suffering wheel so you can push back on something in your life because you get to feel more meaning.
No, because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, but you just arbitrarily, interiorly designed and just declared that.
That's what you believe. And until you hear the voice of God, you'll just think I'm being crazy. That's all. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
I would think that I've heard the voice of like a more rational God.
Yeah, but undoubtedly your God is a very much more rational than mine. Yes, I agree with you. I heard a story about Beethoven that he used to hear the music. And I remember reading that and saying, that's absurd. Nobody can hear music in your own head. That's absurd. And then one day I heard a flute playing inside my own head. And I was like, oh my God. Up until that point to where I actually had the experience, that was just people making things up.
Sure. When I try on the suspension of disbelief frame, like when I'm watching a movie or when I'm like believing in ayahuasca spirits or machine elves, then I can believe it for those times, but I also get that it's like a simulated sandbox thing that I'm spinning up that I'm experiencing. And I can also, in those moments, believe that that's all there is and that's truly what my life is like.
Yep, you could, but you choose not to.
Yeah, it doesn't give me more of the coin that I want and my
Yep,
richness of relatedness that I would like.
yep.
And what are you advocating for alternatively?
Letting go of the tiller.
Letting go of the what?
The tiller, the rudder.
Oh, gotcha.
I think that's what I was saying from the beginning about not planning.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. You're talking about being such a thing that other people do your planning for you.
That happens to be one way it looks sometimes.
Yes, and letting go of the rudder is not that.
Sort of trusting the universe and other people in the world.
No, no, no. There's no trust. There's no right answer. There's no, oh, I'm doing this because the right thing is going to happen. No, you're doing it simply because you're doing it. It may turn out to be really, really bad.
Led by my current character suit's evaluation, which is still
Or
just hallucinated
yes,
identity.
you're letting go of those evaluations. You're doing it because it's the thing to do. The outcome, you're going to try for one outcome or the other, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, let's talk about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches or something. I hate mysticism.
I really want to get your world around like what causes something to be the right thing to do.
How do you know when there's enough salt on your steak?
My taste buds,
No, you haven't tasted it yet. You're shaking the salt on it. How do you know when to stop?
my prior conditioning of what my
Yep,
eyeballs suggest based
yep,
on like density of granules on the food.
same thing. That's what right feels like. I still have my history. If something came up and it spoke to me in Urban I wouldn't understand it. It still has to come through my filters. There are probably a million things a day that are the right thing to do, but because of my history, because of my attention span, because of how much sleep I've had, I don't hear them.
Yeah. Okay.
Ah,
I got a question back to the embodiment and physicality.
yep.
Um, I was leaning the other directions that I was leaning, things like meditation, qigong, coaching,
Yep.
on account of having spent enough time in a sort of like athleticism focused and combat like relevant sphere. And I felt like I never really ever wanted to be there in the first place. Like I was pushed into it because I was good at it. And
Yep.
like I never liked competing in that arena. And
Yep.
it seemed like it just fed like violence and a propensity for violence inside of me.
Yep.
Um and I like moved away from that towards things that were more serene, but like still embodied, like
Yep.
yoga, qigong, etc.
Yep.
But yeah, I was wondering like I felt a push to like move back towards like towards that as an expression and saying like that people like Alton, for instance, might need more of that and that I could be of value in delivering that. But it doesn't seem like it's what I need more of, and I don't know that it's actually like what lights me up or what I want to be doing.
All right, go
Um,
find something different. I don't
right.
the you, you're going to need something to create the team around you or the clients around you or the community around you. That may not be the thing that does it for you, but it's the thing that draws them in.
Mm-hmm.
You may be, you may be like, oh my God, Sanskrit, this is amazing. But you're delving into the study of Sanskrit isn't going to build a community.
Mm-hmm.
You do the things that other people are willing to pay coin for so that you can do the things that other people don't pay coin for. If that's what, floats your boat.
Clear.
It's like Alton's, past lives of taking people into forbidden places or sewers or whatever it is. He thought that was all about the physical world.
I don't have it that way.
Yeah, go ahead, invite them into the sewers of their inner world.
That's exactly what I would do. I would invite them at like every 5 to 15 minutes to check in with like what they're noticing
Oh,
and how it's some metaphor for whatever it is that their challenges up in their personal lives. And
no,
when
you
they
want them
walk
to.
for many minutes in the pitch blackness, led by nothing but the sound of their own footsteps echoing the pitch black walls, where it's darker with your eyes open than it is with your eyes closed. That's a very rare, beautiful experience.
Yeah, I know, but how do you make that show up when they're in relationship with somebody?
We just do
If
it,
you're
take them through it, and they just bring their partners.
There's
It's
Colin.
with romantic
There's
partners,
Colin.
business partners.
There's Colin. He's sitting there in a chair. You're going to put Sophia in a chair next to him, in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to get Sophia into that black sewer vis-a-vis Colin? What's the environment that you're going to create? What's the scenario that you're going to create? What's the music you're going to play?
Sure, I could paint him as a villain or all the things that Sophia can't be with. And
Then fine, then see if that gets her to that place.
Okay, well, she'll be here in a couple weeks.
Or whoever, it doesn't matter. To get Hate Elise to try it.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll have Colin back in a couple days and we'll do that.
Dinner Friday?
That's right. Oh man, we'll have some great friends. Aaron and Tilo.
Have fun, Colin.
I've actually got to run. I have another work thing in 5 minutes, but I really appreciate both of you.
Oh, stop it. Stop it. Go away.
That'd be great.
Go away. Oh, fuck off.
Nice. There you go.
Bye.
People don't necessarily always feel as much of a motivated buyer to explore their dark sides or their inner sewers as much as I do. I'm wondering how to prime the pump for them without feeling like I'm kind of like jerking them around by like wiggling my finger in their wound.
Yeah, no, but exactly. Now you're talking like a marketer. Now you're talking like an advertising person. This is a good place for you.
People really don't like advertising people.
Well, but they like advertising.
They like being sold to, is my story. Or they like being wanted. And
they like being told why the thing you want them to do is so goddamn wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, and they like the results that come from it. It's been my historical priors from what I
fine. All you gotta do is figure out how to sell them.
Yeah,
I'd be interested in seeing how you actually, because remember when you're selling something, you're not, it's not the thing, it's the signified, it's the meaning making that they make. Now, what's the meaning making? That's going to have Haley say, I am going to my dark sewer tunnel vis-a-vis Colin. How do you talk to her about that in such a way that she's like, that sounds like a really good idea?
Like I said, I have to wiggle it feels like I need to wiggle my finger in the wound and get her present to the cost of her not doing that. And
That's one way to do it. The other way you can do it is say, look how much fun it is to have that thing alive. You don't have to heal it. You don't have to, sewers are very useful things.
yeah, it doesn't occur to me that people are really actually embracing.
Yep.
their-
How to embrace your inner sewers, your relational sewers. Yeah. Mhm.
I'm not even clear on what's the upside of embracing your inner sewers. Being present to like
Why?
that they exist is important, or like, oh yeah, it looks like we do poop, so let's handle that stuff and like learn best practices around that.
What was the joy for you of being in the physical sewers? Why
Okay,
was that such
they're
a
not
high
sewers.
for you?
They're aqueducts that
Okay,
take,
aqueducts,
yeah,
and whatever you want to call them.
they take
What?
rainwater out to the bay. They're
Okay,
not
so
like
why is that such a thing for you? Why does that turn you on so much?
to be able to take people on once in a lifetime experiences that they will, I remember till the day they die, that has such salient metaphors for the biggest
Oh,
challenges in their
God.
life, and for to be the one that regularly leads them through that is extremely big in my specialist narrative, and also deepening of my relatedness and like the capacity to dance deeper dances with people who demonstrate the capacity for courage and spaciousness and dancing through life, and people who
Well,
are, yeah.
it sounds like you did a really good job about manifesting that in the external reality, the physical reality, and you did a crap job about manifesting that in the relational reality.
I don't understand how or where your assertion is based on about doing a crap job in the relational reality.
I don't know of anybody who was crawling through aqueducts with you.
But I just took our group with Cal and Haley's like a couple weeks ago. It was one of the first things they
No,
did when they arrived here.
no, 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 no. What's the relational thing? How are you in
Great.
your relationship with Hades?
Yeah.
What is walking through the dark with her look like? To where you can't see her and she can't see you. And yet you're still moving in a direction, an agreed upon direction.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what we just like this week, she quit her job and then created an agreement that she signed around having me like be an agent for her and manage all of that. And we don't know where that's going to look like more specifically, other than she just trusts me and says, Alton, like you do the thing, your thing, and I'll do my thing. And I want to
What
be
is what does her taking steps look like? What's her walking in the dark?
like quitting her job and not knowing what's next and trusting that
Yeah,
set
that's
up the
that.
situation here.
So what you did in my world, and again, what you did is, hey, Elise, this is a doorway. To get through the doorway, you have to quit your job.
I did not say that for sure. I was
Okay.
actually a little bit surprised that she quit her job. And
Okay.
and
So
then she told me today, this is the first time that she loves it here and that she sees herself staying here indefinitely. And that
yeah, but
was news, but apparently she was like, "Oh, I've been telling all of my friends that I'm like falling in love with this area and it is I'm happier than I've been." I'm like, "Wow, that's I
how
was,
is that her walking in the dark?
how is that her walking in the dark, coming out here not knowing anybody other than myself and being like trusting that I'll set her up with like great communities, jobs, and just a great social support network."
Okay. So when they're walking through the aqueduct, when you turn off the lights and have them keep walking,
Yeah, it's never
what
turned
is,
on. We just, yeah.
so what's your objective for that? What do you want them to experience?
Being completely blanketed in darkness and trusting their senses, and maybe they're gonna fall off of a cliff and die, but that'd be some life, and maybe that would happen.
Okay. So what you're telling me is that that's what you did with Hades.
I have it. That's what I'm doing in any form of leadership. Yes. People are
Uh,
trusting me by saying, I'll follow you into the little pitch blackness for who knows how long. Maybe it's going to be the end of my life. Some other investor friends are like, yeah, I just realized the thought that you
most
could like kill
people,
me here. And I'm like, yeah, huh, that's
most
true.
people aren't going to do that. Most people are going to go into places that are lit well enough so that they think they know where they're going.
Exactly.
Not very many people will ever venture into real darkness.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's such a beautiful thing for me, such an intimate form of trust. And people who could trust themselves and in connection with me, that's really what I'm looking for in life.
I don't know. I don't. It's almost like in this again, my meaning making. My meaning making is that you have too much light for there to be real darkness. Is that they're not there because you show up as not dangerous. They're very, very certain that no matter where you lead, it's going to be to a place that they can handle. That you're not actually going to point them in the direction and they're going to fall off the cliff. And their dances with you.
Hmm. I don't understand why
There's
that would be like a. You're saying that it's
because
not actually dangerous or not actually like fear because the
there's no
historical.
actual trust.
There's no.
They don't. There's no trust because they don't think that you can hurt them. That you're not
I don't
actually
think
going to do
I would
anything
hurt
any
them.
dangerous.
You're saying.
Right. There's
I mean, they're like
nothing.
physically clearly like. Sure, we could use a pen to stab somebody, but like.
But you won't. You will never stab anybody. Is what your public face says. If you take me into
Oh,
an
totally.
act with
Of course,
that,
I'm not gonna. I don't want to signal those other things. That's not how you work business with people who are trusting you with their lives and
they're
or
not. They're
millions of
not
dollars.
trusting you. They don't see you as a threat.
I hear that's
You
your frame
can't.
around that, and I have it that's a very different game in Silicon Valley here.
Yep. Could be.
What are the signifiers that you see around too much light that there's like no space for dark?
I don't. If I ask Hadelise, what's the worst thing that's going to happen to you there? What do you think she's going to say?
Well, I think she was the one who brought up literally that she was concerned that she could like fall and
Oh, where?
or there could be like a direct drop off. Like it's not uncommon that within aqueduct systems there are just direct straight drop offs into like 20 feet into concrete floor with like 2 inches of water or something.
Would Alton lead me to such a place that could happen? Those places do exist,
Right.
but does she believe that Alton's going to bring me to a place and then turn off the lights and then say take 6 steps? And the possibility of that one of those places will be 4 steps away exists. If I did it, they might be really concerned because they believe that I would.
You would have them trust themselves where they can like know to
No,
not
no,
step
that
if it's like a hole.
you're not hearing this. I don't think that you would ask them to do anything that could potentially break a limb. I would. If they're concerned about breaking limbs and I say, I'm going to turn out the light and you're going to take 6 steps forward, they're going to be like, then they would have to do something. If they're with you and you say, oh, I'm going to shut off the lights and you're going to take 6 steps
seems a little
forward.
extreme. I mean, I don't. You actually
It
believe
is.
that the distinction is like you want people to break their limbs and like.
I don't mind if they do.
Yeah, it
What
feels
do
like
you
you're
think?
moving the goalpost. Don't mind if they do. I mean, come on, like
I don't.
you don't mind if you lead someone who's following your word to break their limb because they trusted you,
No, because they did something.
right?
I give people, if people do homework, there's always a chance that something's going to go wrong. You know, if
Sure,
you give
exactly.
somebody,
So I guess I'm like, why is this any different than asking someone to come over to drive over to my house and then getting in a car increases the chance that they're going to get in a car wreck? And like, is that really on you? I mean,
no, because they believe that you're a safe driver.
I feel like you're trying to hammer some point. I'm really not getting here. You're saying, Alton, I'm asserting that you are too safe for other people, and I want you to
No, I
disprove
didn't say
me.
that.
Or
I
okay,
didn't say that. I'm saying that your public face is one that says, I'm not going to put you in any danger.
sure. I hear that's your interpretation,
That's my
and
interpretation. So there's never really anything. There's no trust. You can't if you're being faced with a feather, you don't trust that that feather's not going to hurt you. That's ridiculous.
I, like I'm not really grokking. It seems like there's some point
Yeah.
you're driving at.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, like it occurs to me like, yes, water is wet. People don't, there's no trust if people don't actually believe that you're gonna hurt them or like lead them
If
to
you want
situations they
people,
could end up seriously injured.
if you want people to experience trust with you, then you have to present some sort of danger. But
Yes.
they have to then say, oh, he's not going to do that bad thing to me. Not that he's incapable of doing that bad thing to me.
Right. Exactly. So to me, I mean,
Sophia,
I agree with you. So I'm like, what are you trying to say here?
if how can Sophia trust you if she hasn't been hurt by you?
Well, exactly. So
Have
like
you
an
punched her in
example
the
of
face?
trust. Uh, no, she asks for other forms of um being stimulated that occur as
That's not stimulation. That's you've pushed me to the point where I'm punching you in the forehead.
she has
It's
been hurt by my choice to not respond to her when she seems completely in reaction and like ridiculously like outraged. And that's hurtful for her, for me to be like, oh, you know what, I'm just not available for this right now. There's not, and if she has a story that means I'm withdrawing my love.
Have you been watching this, Zahira?
No, I just signed on.
Oh, okay.
Zahira and Sophia they have a lot of overlapping patterns. That's
You
what I mean.
think they do. I'm trying to differentiate for Alton that there, and again, this is just sort of generic cartoonies, that if you look at Alton and you think that he's incapable of hurting you, then there's nothing to trust. But if you look at Alton and you think he's capable of hurting you, then you're trusting him means that he could hurt you, but he's going to choose not to.
I feel that's a lot of mind activity.
Okay. Oh, it's Haley's. All right. That's what he and I do a lot. Oh. Are you resourced, Haley's? Do you have a firm base?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Hi, Zahira.
Hi,
Mm.
I feel blessed to be here. So, and it's nice seeing you guys, and nice to meet you, Cray.
Give me a minute, you'll regret it.
Okay, bring it on. That's how I feel. Alton knows.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Zahira, this is your first time
Yes.
on the okay.
Hey, Elise, can I play with
Yes.
you? You're in an aqueduct and you've never been here before. And Alton says, I'm going to turn off the lights and I want you to walk 6 paces. In your mind, is there a possibility that somewhere before that the sixth step is taken, that there's a danger to you?
No.
If I had led you into an aqueduct, and I said, I'm going to turn off the light now, and I want you to take 6 paces, in your mind, is there a possibility that there might be some physical danger?
Yeah, I notice a little bit more hesitancy, but I would do it as well.
Yep. That's the difference, Alton.
So you used very leading questions with moving goalposts of
That's fine.
like primed answers. and
I'm
like-
trying to paint a cartoon with you.
Yeah.
So that you get an idea, maybe hopefully get an idea about what this is about. It's just cartoons. It's not reality.
Yeah.
Adelise has danced with me and has experienced value negative experiences. And she's pretty clear that her 100% well-being is not really a big deal to me. I'm fine if she gets bumped around or hurt or gets upset or there's something comes up.
Yeah, I would also identify as having that.
All right. That's all I'm saying.
As having that experience with Gray. You're
No.
saying, Alton?
For other people like Sophia or yourself or people who interface with me. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna really mess up your ego sometimes, and you're gonna not leave very happy, and that's gonna happen sometimes, and that's all part of the experience. And I'm not here to coddle them.
But she leaves when she dances with me. In my meaning making, she's like, that didn't feel very good. He wasn't malicious. And I'm stronger. I'm broader. The old me didn't like that, but the new me kind of does.
Yes.
And I think that's something that I would wish for you to engage more with, Alton.
Okay. I could feel that.
Okay, enough about me and Alton. What do you two ladies want?
What do we want?
Yeah, it's the eternal question. You're here right now. This is you're in this boxing ring. What do you want to have happen? Okay.
I have easy access to this version of me that I know Zahira also has easy access to, which is this version of me that's generous and loving and attuned and playful and silly,
Yeah, crap. Yeah.
inviting, rewarding.
Ugh. Ugh.
So we could
Oh, no,
lean more
please.
into that and make
No,
Craig
please,
totally
I'm
puke
begging
everywhere.
you. Ugh.
Or there's also this like violent side, and there's also this like noble side to
What
those
do
coins.
you want, Adelise? I feel like the violent one is so fun. Okay,
Probably
well, yeah, probably. Well, way to take a stand.
mm. There,
She's doing you very well, Alton.
I see.
Now, I would hope, Alton, that you could see Zahira and say, I'd rather be like Zahira right now. What would that feel like, Alton? This little pleasant, oh, possibly this and possibly that, and I like that, and a little giggly sound about liking that, and yep.
My experience with Zahira, I've shared this with her, is much more bypassy, and I don't feel more myself. And when I hear Hey Lisa, I'm more present to now versus half an hour ago. I feel disgust and like desire to vomit.
I feel like I'm here to, what do I want? I want to observe and
Oh,
then
yay.
take in, and then take it, no, and take in what comes naturally, what naturally unfolds.
Oh,
I'm,
yay.
no,
The world's going
mean-
to change because they're accepting the brutality for what it is. They don't have agency. Oh, no, not Josh, please. Jesus.
Ah,
I asked for limited
violence.
capacity until the bottom of the hour, but largely the focus with Hey Lisa and Zahira till the next 15 to 16 minutes.
I'm just doing what comes naturally. Feminines who are willing to take whatever happens and just dance with it as it is. Oy.
Zahira, in this container, I want you to not observe, but interact. I don't know what that's going to mean to you.
I'm open to interaction.
She's
So,
open to anything. Whatever arises, she's okay with.
and when Alton said that he has a feeling of, it wasn't clear exactly, but when I'm around him, I'm bypassing my, the word bypassing.
Mhm.
That could be true. I mean, I don't, I'm
Yes, and we could all be sleeping and this could all be a dream. And there could be leprechauns on Venus and anything could be. Damn Buddhist. Equanimity. Ugh. Dum, 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 dum.
Thanks for saying that. Hi, Delise. I like interacting.
Evidence to the contrary.
Observe and interact when necessary. That's what I actually meant in the
Necessary. No, you take the lead. You dance the dance that you make us dance the way you want us to dance to give you the experiences that you want to have.
Okay.
Yeah. Josh is really good at this.
What specifically?
I'm being sarcastic.
I mean,
Josh is famous in hang containers for sitting back and watching the show for 2 hours.
oh, okay, that's weird time. Yeah. And then he'll write a beautiful piece about it, and then he'll dance with it the next thing. He just has a different clock cycle.
Oh,
That's so inviting, Alton.
It's my flavor. I like it, so I'm gonna justify it.
It's not. That's not what you said a minute ago. Josh, do you think you could trigger my violence?
why would you make it dependent on him?
I just want to see what. Why would you make it? Oh,
Ah,
On a long enough timeline, anything is possible, Haley's.
I feel impatient.
oh, well. Yep, here we are. This is what's going to change the world, people. All of us sitting on our butts waiting for somebody else to do something so that we can then be justified in dancing back with them because they provided the stimulus. Heaven help us if we're the stimulus.
Seems like Cray is impatient too.
I'm not impatient. I'm bored out of my skull. This is more entertaining than what you guys are doing.
What typically
Great. What do you know
justifies
about me?
violence for you, Haley's?
Oh God, go to a room.
Oops.
Ow.
Now you're asking for her advice about what to do. God damn.
Mhm.
So what Cray, when you're visiting someplace new, you just decide you're gonna go explore it without looking at any maps or
Usually, look, there's Zahira. She's blonde. She's above 30. There's a lot of brown, but she's wearing bright red fingernail polish. Okay. She's really intelligent. She seems like there's a fire smoldering in her. She probably doesn't take a lot of risk in her life, a lot of interpersonal risk, and she's usually pretty wallpapery. So I could let her do that, or I can just keep poking her. Hopefully, there's something's going to catch fire. It probably won't.
I hope so.
Yeah, oh, yeah, great. I hope
I
so.
hope something
I
catches fire.
I hope the Hamas people will stop killing each other. I hope that world hunger will go away. I hope the climate change will happen. Yeah, I hope.
That's not me.
Bold action.
I'm too selfish.
Huh?
I'm too selfish.
No, you're too much of a
Well, caring but
coward.
selfish. I don't know.
You're a coward. You're a coward and you're afraid of your own heat. Much like Hadelise. Alton doesn't know he has heat. Josh's heat is buried under a medical facility someplace. Hmm. Hmm.
I experience it as numbing.
Wah.
I don't know what to do with it.
Do something that's the antithesis of it. Why are you obeying the feelings of numbness? Why are you letting them control you? Why aren't you throwing yourself on the ground and saying, "You shall not have me"? I refuse to be this little gray thing anymore. This is what I'm talking about, Alton. These are going to be the people that are coming to you. You have to give them something extraordinary. You have to give them all three of these people. Fire is a great thing. Okay. So if
Yeah.
they're coming to you, if they're coming to a workshop, one of the carrots you're going to give them is you're going to give them, I promise you that you'll have a taste of the fire that you forbid yourself to experience.
Okay.
The hero is going to be out masturbating horses. Mm-hmm. I can't. Facebook would shut us down if we outed Josh's, but Hadelise gets to be a housewife. Cooking and cleaning.
What's the fiery housewife archetype?
Can you imagine how pissed off that would make her? Hadelise, go inside and make dinner. We're going to do a bunch of fun things out here, fun and sexy and sensual and dark. You go inside and make biscuits and gravy.
You're saying you want us to do this, and that will help her get more access to her fire?
I'm just saying, if I'm going to get any of you guys to, how would I get any of you guys to get to fire?
Isn't fire very energetically expensive?
Depends on what, if you don't have any, if you haven't danced with it, Sure. I mean, love can be very, very expensive in a chi fashion if you don't dance. So the more you dance with it, the less chi it expends. The chi isn't in the flame. It's in your approach to the flame. The cost of it isn't in the flame, is how you relate to it.
It depends how you define fire. Like anger, uh, amazing sex,
Passion.
passion.
Passion is the root of all the fire emotions in my world.
Passion.
Yeah, remember that, Zahira? Back when you were like 16, 17? No? Oh, sorry.
Passion. That could be like now.
On evidence to the contrary.
Hmm.
Yeah, see
Is
that? See
passion
that?
like anger?
Did you see
Is it
that?
like,
That yeah, it can be. It can be.
yeah.
When she looked away and did that circle back, those are the embers. Oh, now she's covering it up again.
No, okay. I've felt a lot of passion in the last couple weeks.
Really?
Yes.
On a
Like the
scale of
best
one
sex of
to
my life.
that could be
And
not,
the best
that
sex
could be
of my life
nothing.
in a secret, open relationship.
So again, looking at you, I mean, you're like, to me, you could be a 12th grader saying, this is the best sex I've ever had. And I'm like, how many times have you had sex? Once. I'm like, well, there, it's the best and the worst sex you've ever had. You know, how do I know what best sex is for you? You could have been
Okay.
a nun.
It's when you didn't even know this existed, where in the movies, it's like, slow, like hours and all different positions and not even just sex, different like dance, like different aspects to it, touch,
Yeah.
feeling
So
vibrations of the touch. Like usually it's
make
like,
it happen here.
no, but usually when
Make it happen here.
make that passion of the
Yep.
sexual experience happen here.
Yep, for you. Talk, move, find subjects. Do whatever you have to do to make that experience live in you. You don't have to show us anything. What would you have to say to Josh to make a little bit of that fire come up? What would you have to say to Hate Elise to make a little bit of that fire get more present? To Alton, what would you have to say? What would you, maybe you're a kinesthetic person and you do this. You're like, whoa, I'm flapping my wings at you, Hate Elise. Wow. Who knows? How do you make it happen now? If that, it looks like you're looking at that and you're describing it as if that was a really great place. Stop making it about the temple and make it in your everyday life.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. Okay. So Alton, so she's bought the theory of it. Okay. This is like you. She's bought the theory of it. Now we're going to see if it takes her 3 years to start practicing.
Mhm.
Now she's still thinking. Now what is she doing? Yeah, the right.
that's
So okay. So you're already there. It's already happening. So now you make it bigger. Do something. Interact.
the only way I know how to. I mean,
I don't care. Do it. You're on a live feed on Facebook, so be careful. And if I was coaching you, like if you were paying me money to coach you, I would say you can only use words.
oh, wait. Okay. Oh my gosh, that's a trigger because
Yep.
you got me, Craig. So what do you mean? It's like an ongoing. Anyone can watch this at any time, or just now?
Yep. Anybody can go back and hit the recording, and they will see this. It's
Okay,
not me,
fine.
it's Alton. I don't do it.
Oh, I
I'm
don't
just-
mind. I mean, I forgot about that, but I'm not gonna sweat
Okay,
it.
good.
Whatever.
Good. So look at Hadelise.
Okay.
Now, just think for a moment. You're on a screen. You're not in a bedroom together. You're not even on the same, I don't know where the hell you are, but you're not in the same physical place. What is a sentence that you could say to her that would have that experience get a little tiny bit bigger? Try this. Try this. Zahira,
Yes.
I love the way your lips look, Hadelise. Just try that sentence.
I love the way your lips look, Hadelise.
Okay. Now check
I
inside.
love the way your lips look, Hadelise. I
Hips.
love
Hips.
the way your lips look. Just so
Okay, now-
fucking sexy.
Now look inside. Did that work? Did the flame, did that passion thing get a little bit bigger?
The energy's inside, yeah.
Okay,
Like
so it got bigger.
bubbling.
Now, I want you to say, I like my corn buttered, but do it in such a way that the flame increases. I like my corn buttered.
I like my corn buttered.
Okay, so it doesn't look like it did. Now look at her. Lean into the camera, look at Hadelise, and somehow play with the pronunciation or the energetics of it. Yeah, start with that face, tilt it slightly, yeah. And say, I like my corn buttered.
I like my corn buttered.
Was there a change in that passion that you could feel?
Yes, because it just makes an analogy for
Okay,
another thing.
I know, but whatever. So what you
Okay.
just proved, Zahira, is that the contents of the words are not the thing.
It's the experience of the emotion when saying any words.
Yeah, it's whatever you want to put into it. You could try to make your anger bigger by saying, I like my corn buttered. We tend to get focused on the words, Alton, as that they carry most of the meaning, but most of the meaning in human communication is not verbal. And so anything that you experience in any one of your temples, you can learn to have a bigger experience here using words. Potentially. So you could come on some sort of group chat, Zahira, and you could say, okay, I am going to have the most amazing hour Zoom call I've ever had. And you can spend the whole time just feeling all kinds of goody stuff. Or you can make yourself have a really bad time. Wow. Nicely done. Don't worry. In another 26 minutes, it'll all be some weird dream you had. The reference to the Matrix, never mind. Ah,
I've been interested in talking with you about the broken stair problem with community members, and when people have very different cultural values, but suggest or signal that they have the same cultural values, and how to, I think I spoke about this 2 weeks ago, how to like make
You
this,
said you were okay with public nudity. Every time a woman walks by that's nude in the confines of our house, you lose your shit. So I understand philosophically you're aligned with it, but what might be happening with you otherwise? Something like that. Anybody can talk the talk, Alton. If you're living in a beautiful enough place with enough amenities, people are going to say whatever they think you want to hear, such that they can come play with you.
yeah, that's what I'm experiencing. And I'm like,
Yep.
okay, this doesn't seem to work. So how do I,
There's
I mean, by default, it just seems like there's some between scorched earth and being like, yeah, they're in the black book and everyone should ostracize them. And there's like people who can reform over some time. I don't give a lot of hope, but it's possible.
yeah, and that's you're gonna God, there are so many different monocultures in the world and so many different levels and types of trauma.
Right.
You don't know, you just have to have practice.
And there's some people who we know that you've been working also with that I'm like, well, I mean, I get they don't have as much experience in these different domains, but they keep taking stuff personally and then make it in about me. And I'm like,
Get
no.
rid of them.
All right.
I mean, you have to practice. You have to be able to get rid of people because they're not working. And it's your bias and it's your opinion, but you're the guy, you're the content holder.
Yeah, I want to have some degree of transparency about like my stages of process and
No.
okay. Well,
If they
Fine.
want to be the space holder, then let them find a place. It's okay if you do, but you don't have to.
yeah.
The
Well,
buck
so in this
stops
case,
with
they
you.
are finding their own place and they are trying to recruit some friends to that. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I feel good endorsing any of it. In fact, I think I would want to tell them not to go to the thing.
Then fine, tell them not to go. Tell them staying with you is better. Be transparent about your reasons for why you want them to stay with you.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you just, it seems like pro-social to have a transparent, like,
No, it's not. It is not pro-social.
eh?
Pro-social is having an acceptable degree of transparency. And that changes in all kinds of places within the same organization.
Yeah.
Okay. There are different types of transparency at different levels and who's relating to who. They don't need to know how much you're spending on underwear.
You really have it that that's the extreme of, I mean, okay.
I have never known of a human society that did 100% transparency and it worked. I've seen people use 100% transparency as a passive aggressive way of messing things up in an insane way. You can't be 100 transparent about things. There's just too many things happening to you.
Yep.
You have to decide how to cut out some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's just not enough time. Yes, Zahira?
Thanks.
Hey, Delise is
Yes.
taking notes, so I don't know. What are you doing, you troublemaker, you? Not Hey Delise. Hey Delise doesn't cause trouble. She wants to. 21 minutes.
I continue to be interested in how I can design systems with Hidlise to evoke more versions of people. I'm also interested in designing a wingman setup with Josh and how we can support each other in our own practices in the world.
Hey, Josh, you want to be my wingman? Okay, I'll be your wingman. Let's do it around this exercise. Okay, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to say? Okay, and it's the same thing. I mean, you just gotta get out there and practice.
Oh, that was a great template. Thanks. The speediest coaching window ever. Great.
How do you encourage Hate Elise to burn brightly without being pathological?
Oh yeah. How can I support Adelies in standing up for her value and not giving away the farm?
I didn't say that.
Okay, that's one way I judge to be pathological, is like giving away the farm or being overly nice.
Oh, she's pathological in a lot of ways. Gee, you might want to find out what she thinks about that.
We were just okay. Adelies, what do you think about that?
How could-
I know pathological in the sense of like a liar. Pathological means like impulsively.
No, it means it's a black hole. You're doing things out of your historical patterning rather than burning cleanly.
Hmm. And the question was, what do I think about my
How do we get you to stop burning from your black holes? I'm a piece of shit. I need to be proven that I'm wonderful. Some childhood reaction pattern. And what does burning brightly as an adult look like? There's no generic answer to that. So you have to figure out, what does it mean for Hate Elise to burn brightly as an adult? Or burn hotly, or whatever adjective you want to throw out there. What could Hate Elise be doing that creates friction, which creates heat?
me it's being less agreeable.
What's Stop doing the knots.
Okay.
Instead of being agreeable, what will you be being?
Dismissive or
Huh?
dismissive.
In an adult way, not a childhood reaction pattern.
Can you help me, Cray? I'm
Yes, I could.
I
Identify what you want. And until it makes sense not to want it, keep wanting it. Keep taking steps to get what you want. Start off small, start off safe. Push your edges.
the quality is illustrious.
Yes.
I don't feel far from it, but it's like this, like, I don't know what exactly.
That's why you practice. You have to get used to the difference between the grasping I want it because it proves I'm a piece of shit. I want it because it proves that I'm a trophy or whatever. Or I want it because I'm afraid. Or I want it because I'm scared of being afraid. Whatever it is what are the things that you want that aren't about improving you? And it's a learning.
It fights with the part that's like
Aww,
violent
aww.
and like dissatisfied and just like
Yeah,
hungry, and it doesn't.
So can you differentiate between the child hunger and the adult hunger? All those things you're feeling, you have to be able to distinguish between, is it the child feeling this and projecting it to me, or is this my adult? You could look at Zahira and you could feel hungry for her because you want to be the thing that mommy says is good. Even if it's being bad. You can be, oh, I really want Zahira to think I'm good. Because that'll prove to me that I'm not a piece of shit. You know, or you could look at Zahira and say, you know, I'm hungry for what? Yeah, that right there. That little smile on her face. That's a good thing to be hungry about. It's a process, Adelies, and it's a slog. And you're constantly saying, is this a child or is this no? For me, a child is usually clenched around something. It's trying to make something happen or it's trying not to make something happen because of what it means about me. Rather than I want a bite of that. It's the that that's important.
Right when someone's in their child part last week, he's just said to just nod my head and smile and be like, "Oh yeah, that's really real for you," and like actually really, I still do it patronizingly, but how do I gradually get out of that state? Or after I'm just like validating their childhood wounding?
All you're trying to do is that if they're in that state and you want to dance with them, but you don't want to dance with them there, you have to acknowledge where they're at. That way you're not a threat anymore, or you're not much of a threat anymore. You say, oh, you think all men are pigs? Yes, I do. Well, that's a pretty strong feeling. Yes, it is. Is it really all men? Like Santa Claus and the Pope? Oh, especially the Pope. Oh, okay. So like religious figures? And if you can get them to start talking about it and analyzing it, usually the threat response drops down. And then, oops, there they are. Bum, 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 bum.
How do you stop just like feeding this child pattern? Do you think that it'll just eventually grow itself up?
I put things out there that only the adult can play with and try to make them juicier and tastier than the stuff that they want to play with as kids.
Okay. And you give them the handout or the baby food a little bit when they are really combined with their child part.
Yes.
Well, but
Hey,
this is the
Alicia,
first time I've ever heard you been okay with endorsing like giving baby food or baby fooding someone.
you can. If Haley shows up and she's like, she's going to be like that until you say, okay, here comes the airplane. Open the hangar doors. Ooh, you see me. You know what I wanted. You gave me what I wanted. You're a good person. Okay.
In
I
this case
will.
with
I've definitely not been
Zahira,
trying that, so thanks.
Hmm?
in this case with Zahira, I notice I want like I want to be the generous and the loving, like I want to reward her for having done a good job, you know, or a good rep.
How would you reward her? Yeah, that. See.
Yeah, I noticed what my initial reaction is just to be like nice and use my words, but
Yeah,
yeah, I could try
yeah,
something
yeah.
more
Whatever it is,
serious.
let's make. So now keep the smile on your face and look at her and let her see. Yeah, that. Yeah, I think Zahira looks really disgusted and doesn't that's just awful things that you have in your being right now that you're radiating.
And this is
Just stop going soft. Stop going soft. You have a writing crop. Zahira knows that. Be okay with being a pirate, Hadalise.
Mm.
You're not a sheep.
Do you like having your neck bitten, Zahira?
No, stop that. Stop that. Stop being a sheep.
That's not a sheep.
Do it.
Wait, my neck bit?
Wait a minute,
Oh my God.
Zahira. Zahira, wait a minute. This
Yeah.
isn't
Okay.
about
Oh,
you. This is about
I'm
Hadalise.
so sorry. Okay.
You're just the gym equipment. So be a pirate and say about the same thing. have hunger. Be okay to have hunger, Adelies.
The way that your neck is exposed right now on this live stream to everyone comes off a little desperate and sexy.
Wow, the desperate, that was good. Okay, no, don't do that. Don't do that. God.
I have to let it out for a
No, you
second.
don't.
Okay, fine. Fine.
So try. I am going to rip a chunk out of your neck the next time I meet you. Try that.
Mm. The next time I see you, Zahira, in a few days, I'm gonna rip out a chunk of your neck.
See, the first one, you're making it about her. The second one, you're making it about you. And you need more practice making it about you.
Mm.
Stop it. Now look at the camera and say, you are absolutely right. Look at the
Yes.
camera. Look at the camera. You are absolutely right. Okay? That's it.
No, Gray, you're absolutely right.
Okay, Zahira. Thank you for waiting.
Waiting for what?
2 days to pass. 2 days to pass.
I'm waiting for 2 days to pass?
Yeah, because then you're gonna have a chunk bitten out of your neck. I hope.
You can get here in less than 2 days.
She's checking her calendar. That's that. It would be lovely to see you here.
Yeah, I mean, are you in Puerto Rico?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
What would it take to have you come visit?
Oh,
Idea?
shut up. Shut up, you stupid sheep.
I know, I sounded like Alton there. So funny. Oh. Mm. I do want to see Zahira again.
Oh, bah.
Hmm. I wonder what you would do.
Bah. You're talking about her, you're not talking about you.
I want to see you destroy someone. Someone like, remember Brady? Like,
Yeah, that's old news though. But yeah,
did you destroy him?
what's the definition of no, why, but what, why? There's no emotional attachment.
Ask her, hey, Elise, why don't you just ask her if she thinks that if she's capable of destroying you?
Zahira, I'm not afraid of you. There's a
Are
quality.
you capable of destroying me, Zahira? In your opinion?
Are you capable of destroying me, Zahira?
Now I realize that I'm supposed to answer. No, not at all. And what's the definition of destroy? And
Remember what it felt like after your weekend up at the Sex Temple? That kind of
ah,
destroying.
oh,
She's not asking if you can chop her into little tiny pieces.
hmm?
Can you interact with Hadelise in such a way that she loses her capacity to be Hadelise? That she's just an organic thing. You could scare the shit out of her. You could, put peyote in her drink.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a drug.
Okay.
I want to feel more alive in connection with you, Zahira. And there's a quality that I want of it that's like dangerously alive.
See, now that's a good thing to lead with, Hadelise. It's not that you want to feel more alive with you. We'll go play with the unicorns and the little bunny rabbits. I want to feel so dangerously alive with you, Zahira. I want the quality, the aliveness to be such that this is too much. I can't handle this.
Yeah.
That's quite a thing to put out there on the table. Don't put that out there on the table with the masculines, but the feminines can understand that, I think.
I think she knows.
Theoretically, they all know. Three minutes.
Josh.
So, Cray, I believe I've discovered the value of self-love.
What does that mean? I don't know.
I'm glad you asked.
Okay.
So in my world, I've been a lot of last year focused on loving others, and I will inevitably end up dropping them if I try to love them at a deeper and more consistent way than I love myself. And having realized that, I'm now attempting to turn the love I would project outwards inwards.
Who's loving who?
Josh is loving Josh.
What does that mean?
It means giving exquisite attention to myself and
Yeah, but you can do that without loving yourself.
in a loving way.
Yeah, but why?
Well, because then I feel loved. Like I'm less likely to
So
look
what?
for others for love. It's like
So the quality of love that you think you could experience and the actions that would result from Hadelise or Alton or Zahira loving you is going to be the same as the quality of the experience that you're going to have with loving yourself? It shouldn't be.
no, it'll be a very different experience, but I think that my old model of looking at things is I would love others to sort of get a market validated value for my love.
If you're going to tell me that you want to practice the flavor of love with yourself as a way of dancing with something that you're not used to, okay, I can see that. If you're looking to take that inner child and give them the love that they never had so that they can heal themselves, no, that's not going to work. And for me, I think that your actions and your dances in the world are not dependent upon the emotions that you're feeling. I can have an amazing experience with anybody and they don't have to love me. That they love me doesn't mean anything to me. Somehow in their own heads, they have it set up such that however I'm doing, whatever I'm doing, love chemicals come up. And I'm like, that doesn't have anything to do with me. That's their interpretation of me.
Well, and so what I'm trying to do is more raise my own value of my own love.
By loving yourself.
Yes, by valuing my love, like by being my own guinea pig.
So you're saying that the chemicals that arise in you are somehow more valuable because you play with them more often?
Well, because when I've had a lower self opinion of myself or a lower sense of self-worth, I've sort of looked for people to love as like evidence that I am lovable or that I am good or that I am worthy of being with
That's
in a
crap.
relationship.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
the meaning making of a kid.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And if I instead find my love valuable without having some kind of shiny object,
No. Your love is.
my love
Your love
is.
It's not valuable. It's not valuable. You're not doing this to make yourself a shinier creature. That's what your kid doesn't understand.
Mm.
Your kid is like, love is a value-making thing. For the adult, love is what it is. And if it arises, it arises. You can try to make it come up, but it's not valuable in and of itself. We tend to romanticize it and
But
to
don't-
make it this big thing, but it's just another emotion.
But isn't
Another
value
emotion.
subjective? Like,
It totally.
What does loving yourself more get you?
it gets me more like I slow down to understand myself more.
Oh, wait, no, stop. I think slowing down to understand yourself is a great thing for you. Yes. Throw love out the window.
You are
But-
love. Like
Oh,
we're
stop
all
it.
love.
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
And the
Stop
more
it.
love that you feel within
Oh,
yourself,
shut up.
the more you have to
Ugh.
give, and you won't take crap from people because you're already filled up from within yourself. So great place to focus.
Thank you, Z.
Fucking Oh, shut up, Z. Good God. Okay, I'm at time. Can I go?
You can go, Craig. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Oh man.
What do you think, Josh? You look really glowy, man.
Feel invigorated.
Is there anything that's more accessible or available that you'd like to share from here?
It's like I've discovered a way to sort of, I know Craig doesn't like using the value point of view, but in my experience, when I value my time more, when I value my love more, when I value my attention more, I'm more likely to treat myself as if I'm more valuable. I'm less likely to sacrifice for a less than worthy cause or put somebody else ahead of me in a way that doesn't feel aligned.
I don't believe you.
Tell me more.
I think that you think other people are less valuable or less worthy. That's what you used. Less worthy.
I would agree that a part of me does. Like when I'm in fail-safe triggered mode, I'm going to be there's like that core primal part that values me over everyone else and will fight for me over everyone else. But then there's sort of the outer persona that often looks to associate himself with high value people and looks to treat them in a way where they'll want to spend more time with me and that sort of thing where I'm looking to elevate my position by exposing myself to other people in elevated positions.
And so you're not wanting to elevate others like that. So you're solving for that by loving yourself more or
The-
valuing yourself more.
Yeah, the idea is that I will have there are parts of me that want to love, and they will look for an outlet to love, whether or not it's healthy. And if I can redirect that energy back to me, then I have then I sort of solve for that problem. I won't look for someone to love just because I ran out of ways to love myself.
That makes sense. There's like a minimum need or buy-in per window time of getting the love fix. And you're willing to tolerate like low quality fixes of love that are misaligned if you are not able to derive love internally or self supply it.
Yeah, if I don't have an outlet, I'll look for an outlet.
Yeah. I remember being horrified after a altered state experience with how much self-love I could generate because of the relationship dynamics that I had tolerated or like let into my life. And that was very confronting and beautiful realization that if the degree and quality of self-love could be possible from within, then like what have I been doing with my life?
What
Well,
are you smiling
thank
about,
you.
Haley's?
Glad to have you had your first Cray experience. And yeah, I'm also interested in what Haley's came out for her. I'd like to switch into largely debrief mode of how's that experience for us. And yeah, I have a guest over, so I want to wrap up personally. And yeah, any things that came out for you as a hero? How was that for you? You did a really good job feigning triggering earlier, and you seemed to be
Gaining, triggering. What?
being triggered. You said, "Oh, that's a trigger."
Yes. It's true. I mean, it's okay.
You even seemed
Everything's
funny. Now
preordained,
you like
so.
interrupted yourself many times, so I'm like, wow, that's juicy.
Well, when I first heard this is public and open,
Hmm.
I got triggered because I'm like, I mean, okay, it happened. It's fine. Like it's already happened. So it's already happened. Can't change what happened. So might as well just accept it. And it's cool. It's public. So
Is
okay.
stream not
No,
clear still?
if I knew it was public, I probably wouldn't have been so authentic and shared deeply like that. Because
So authentic? I don't know why these trade off. Why do people say that? Okay. Well, I hear that it was not clear to you when you were sharing some things.
yeah, but it's now lesson learned. It's all good.
Water under the bridge, you're saying. Did I not articulate stream for you too?
Yes, but I don't take the time to read. It's my responsibility. I didn't read it all, so I just I'm the best at what I do, and I made a joke to my friend. I was like, I'm the best at making not making effort.
Hmm.
So,
Bill Gates
but
says he
that's
would
actually
hire the
so weird,
laziest
'cause
man.
there's
and the
effort
laziest
for certain
person.
things that drive you when you're passionate about like certain things. But anyways, yes, I did
That's
not read
reasonable.
it. I just joined.
Again, it's like if you're most effective at finding the most efficient way to do things is how I have it. And sometimes that may have drawbacks for you if you have certain desires and proclivities.
Mhm.
Okay. At least is there anything else you wanted to share from this? You seem slightly more embery and fiery.
Hmm.
I enjoy Josh's smile. I thought it was funny. Few moments where when Zahira was just like yelling at Josh, all of you are love. I was like, oh
There's
my
passion.
God.
There's your
I wanted to
passion.
roll my eyes at
Mhm.
you. Like with my whole body. Just like just shove it down his throat. That's exactly what you should be doing.
Mhm.
Uh
Beautiful.
yeah, I don't know what you're doing, Josh, but you I guess I was surprised to hear you say that.
Hmm.
Because I don't know, I've experienced you as like at least at Skyway this last go around, like I experienced you treating others as if they were like less than you or something, and I enjoyed it.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I didn't experience you as like putting her like Courtney in above your own needs or something. Above. It was like
Yeah.
it was not a very domestic partnership or like a typical partnership.
Hmm.
I'm going to
It-
transition to napping, and I want to leave this on. And I love this, and I would love to fall asleep to hearing this dialogue and this inquiry.
We
Thanks,
have
yeah.
a guest
So
over.
that's right. And I texted you on
And
when
that
I told him 7:30, so that's a whole hour and 10 minutes, till 20 minutes from now. Self-care, man.
was that dinner time?
Elise, lean into the luxuriating in your own exquisite attention, is what Josh said. Someone can wait all day for us.
Is there some hidden disappointment in Elton taking a nap, Haley's?
There's this guest who came over to spend time with Alton, and he also messaged me asking me to hang out at that around this time. So if
Elise feels
he's not with
caretaking energy.
Alton, yes, I started to feel caretaking energy.
Hmm.
I shared with him when I was available for. He chose to come earlier, and I said that's fine, and that he's welcome to co-work at our house.
Yeah, because I feel like I said that I was available after
I told
after
him
4-ish.
specifically only and maybe after that he might be available to spend time with you. There's no one entitled to your time, Haley's.
Mhm.
You made a choice when you were sick with the
But I'm
niceness.
also getting hungry.
You're welcome to make your own food.
I want to have dinner together.
You're welcome to have a whole dinner together. I mean, you can't like presto make dinner in 10, 20 minutes, but I mean,
Yeah, true.
Hmm.
Anyway, bye guys.
I'm open to making it less than an hour, so or in 7:15.
Mm-hmm. Josh, I love you.
Hmm.
Zahira, I'm proud of you.
You can
Yes.
take the computer to continue chatting while you're making dinner, and you can
I
hang
also
out while learning about. Okay, just practicing, doing some good reps.
Oh.
Thanks for this, Alton, for this
Yeah.
experience.
Pleasure here. I was hoping I would get some more of your cheerleading pep talk of Josh things, but I'm hearing closing energy, so enjoy. Glad to have had you on here. I'll complete the live